Hello, and thanks for watching. I'm Danny Lebsock. This week at Otterbein, the women's basketball season has come to an end after a great run in the NCAA tournament. Also, the first ever Otterthon was a huge success. First, though, we will look at disability services at Otterbein and see what is being done to shed some light on the issues that Otterbein may have at this present time. John Bazika has more.
So imagine this is you. You go around campus all day wheeling yourself around in this wheelchair because you're paralyzed from the hips down. You're leaving the comm building, you come through this lobby, and you go to push this button so that the door opens, and all you hear is that click, and the door doesn't actually open. What do? Kira Manley is the coordinator of Otterbein's Disability Services. We caught up with her and she tells us the number of students who actually have a disability on campus.
As far as medical diagnoses, we have about 20, but that doesn't necessarily mean all of those students are in a wheelchair. We have 110 total students registered with our department, but that ranges from students with learning disabilities to ADHD to psychiatric diagnoses, visual impairments, hearing impairments, Asperger's, all of the above.
And Manley had this to say in response to the handicap accessibility button that does not work at the back door at the comm building.
Yeah, I don't know that it's just one person's issue. I would think that if a student or a faculty or staff member notices that the button is not working, they would report that to maybe the people that are in that building. They could call me, and then we would make sure that was fixed as soon as possible.
According to Section 504 of the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, as applied to colleges and universities, the institution must provide reasonable accommodations to the student's known disability in order to afford him or her an equal opportunity to participate in the institution's programs, activities, and services as a whole. And Otterbein's transportation services may not always comply to an individual's needs.
For students with physical diagnoses, we don't have a dedicated transportation system. So students can call the security department and some of the police officers can transport students that do need that assistance on campus.
As for those students who already may have a disability on campus or are looking to come here in the future, here's how Manley feels.
Every student is different and their needs are different. We have a lot of students these days that come in pretty self-sufficient and they're used to self-advocating and speaking up for themselves and communicating their own needs. So yeah, I think we're pretty good.
As you can see, Otterbein does have issues when it comes to handicap accessibility, although like anything, it will take simple solutions to fix the problems at hand. For This Week at Otterbein, I'm John Bazika.
The John Paul II Society, or JP2 Society here at Otterbein, is a group that offers those of Roman Catholic faith to be more involved while away from home. The group meets for Mass every Sunday at 7 p.m. in the chapel. OTV's Lucas Bean reports.
Be not afraid. This quote comes from Blessed John Paul II, a name that lives on at Otterbein University's Catholic group known as JP2 Society. Catholic Otterbein students come to profess and celebrate their Catholic faith by coming to Holy Mass every Sunday at 7 p.m. in the Otterbein Chapel during the fall and spring semester. Father Michael Hintersheed, who is the associate pastor at St. Paul the Apostle Parish in Westerville, Ohio, talks about the importance of Blessed John Paul II.
And we take the name Blessed John Paul II because John Paul was one of his great attributes was his witness to the young people of the church. He continually kept calling the young people to not be afraid. Do not be afraid to follow Christ, even in a modern world that is more secular, whose values tend to be more contrary to the gospel values. But his message was to young people to not be afraid, and they followed him in droves. Many of us, myself included, can really attest to his witness to the gospel. It inspired us to follow Christ into adulthood.
Lauren Kuhl, a senior broadcasting and sports management major, talked about her experience in the group, and she also told us how to get more information on JP2 Society.
I became involved with John Paul II Society when I was a freshman. It was actually back then called Catholic Acts, but we renamed the group. So yeah, I became involved my freshman year, and I've been stuck with it ever since. And it's really nice because it's a small group on campus, even though we're trying to spread the word about our group and make it a little bit bigger. But it's nice because, I mean, it's just, college kids coming together, for prayer and Catholic Mass. And sometimes even after Mass we'll go out for, you know, like last semester we went to Graders a few times and just like hung out and talked, and we're planning an old bag night coming up soon. You can find all of our group information either on our Facebook page, which is John Paul II Society at Otterbein University, or we also have a Twitter, which is at the JP2 Society. And we post when we're meeting, other like random facts about, you know, Catholic stuff going on in the world, or like pro-life day or anything like that. We'll post that either on Facebook or Twitter or both. So you can follow us there.
For This Week at Otterbein, I'm Lucas Bean.
The group also meets for Bible study at 6:15 every Sunday. For more information about the JP2 Society as a whole, the website is listed below at www.jp2society.com. Last Thursday, February 28th, in the Clements Lounge, the Nobody is Perfect meeting took place. Sigma Alpha Tau and other students attended to hear testimonies about eating disorders and how to help people that have eating disorders. OTV's Paul Dahman tells us more.
Having an eating disorder is an issue that often goes unnoticed. Julie Sager, Director of Student Wellness, has plans to bring awareness to the rising problem of eating disorder.
Last year we had a group of people that got together from different parts of the university to start talking about eating disorders, and we started talking a little bit more about this issue and how can we start getting the word out. We came up with a list of activities to do, but we really didn't start implementing them till now, and so this is kind of the initial activity.
Together, the Center for Wellness and Sigma Alpha Tau brought this issue to the eyes of campus.
One of the reasons why Sigma Alpha Tau was asked to do this with us is because many years ago they did some programming with us because they had some members that had eating disorders, and they actually got up and told their stories. So I knew that there was like historically some interest there, and frankly it's a sorority that gets involved a lot. You can count on them to get things done, and I knew they'd be a pleasure to work with.
The campus program, Nobody is Perfect, was held last week, bringing together students who are concerned about eating disorder. A panel spoke to inform, as well as offer advice on how to help someone you know with an eating disorder.
Okay, there's a couple of things that are very prominent. Number one, the health center, and also wellness and student affairs, which is basically me and Jill. And I do have access to connect people with counseling. I can tell them a little bit about local resources in the community, and I also have some written materials and websites and things like that. So I would be more than happy to talk to you.
For This Week at Otterbein, I'm Paul Dahman.
Well, that is all we have for news on this week's show. Now here's Emmy Wells in the studio with Arts and Entertainment. Emmy?
I'm Emmy Wells, here with a report on arts and entertainment. The radio station here at Otterbein, WOBN, gives many students the opportunity to get hands-on experience with a real radio station. But broadcasting majors aren't the only ones getting involved. In fact, even staff members can be on the radio. One Otterbein staff member has done exactly that. Danny Lebsock has a story.
Some people wake up early to see the sunrise. Others wake up for a morning walk. Sean Moneypenny has been waking up early for a slightly different reason.
It's 6 a.m. It's time for the Money Man Morning Show.
He's been waking up at 5 a.m. to take over the airwaves of WOBN for the past 5 years to run his own radio show.
I came in as a, hey, help, we need people just fill in a spot, you know, what do you do? And just kind of took it from there. It's something I've always wanted to do, and my uncle's actually in the business out in Boston. He actually started out at 6-10 years ago, back when I was just a little child. WOBN 97.5 FM, Westerville, Ohio, streaming online at WOBN.net. It's the Money Man Morning Show! Yeah! My favorite part about doing this is probably just being able to connect with the community, talk about the kids and the sports, talk about the events of the community, Otterbein community, whether it's, you know, OCF on Thursdays, whether it's Starry Monday coming up on Monday. There's a lot that you can inform the kids, inform the community on, and I think touching them subjects, that's good.
From his childhood dream of being on the radio, to coming up on 500 shows, Money Man offers you this advice on going after your dreams.
I tell you what, whatever you want to do in your life, you know, whatever your dreams are, whatever you want to pursue, you need to just grab the bull by the horns and go for it, because that's what it's all about. Only you are going to put yourself in position to give yourself the opportunities to make whatever you want to make happen.
If you want to listen to the Money Man Morning Show, it's on 97.5 WOBN at 6 in the morning until 7 in the morning, replayed from 9 in the morning until 10 in the morning. Danny Lebsock, Otterbein TV.
Be kind to each other.
This past weekend, many students participated in Otterthon, the dance marathon to benefit Nationwide Children's Hospital. Grace Lenahan caught up on some of the action from the 6-hour-long event.
On Friday, Otterbein held a fundraiser for Nationwide Children's Hospital. But this wasn't like any other fundraiser, it was a dance-a-thon. Otterthon was the first dance marathon at Otterbein to raise money for the hospital. Participants showed up at 6 p.m. and danced some more, and did even more dancing until 1 in the morning. There were different styles of dance featured throughout the night, with classes in Zumba, hip-hop, line dancing, and jazzercise. There was also a live band. But most importantly, this event was to benefit the Children's Hospital. The students that participated in Otterthon ended up raising over $3,800 for the kids by simply dancing the night away. For This Week at Otterbein, I'm Grace Lenahan.
That's all for Arts and Entertainment. Now to Jacob Barker with a sports update.
Thanks, Emmy. Jacob Barker here with your Cardinal Sports Report. After a second-place finish in the OAC tournament, the Otterbein women's basketball team clinched a berth in the NCAA tournament. It was the first time the team had made the tournament in school history. In the first round, they drew Maryville College from Tennessee. The game took place at DePaul University in Indiana last Saturday. The game started off like a boxing match, with both teams going back and forth the whole first half. Although Connie Richardson's squad took a 29-27 lead into halftime, in the second half, Maryville would hit 4 consecutive three-pointers and gain a 10-point lead, 58-48. This 10-point lead concluded a 12-2 run for Maryville. Otterbein fought hard the rest of the way, with cutting the 10-point lead into a 4-point game late, although the rally would fall short as the Cardinals ended up losing in the end by 7, 68-61. Hannah Day led all scorers in the game with 23 points. The Lady Cards finished 21-7, and Otterbein TV would like to congratulate the woman on a great season, and hopefully in the future, better things to come. Well, the Otterbein baseball team has started off the young season playing Ohio Christian 3 times. The Diamond Nine went 22-17 last year and have a new season ahead of them. With this year's squad prepping for the Florida trip over spring break and a big year in the OAC, David Kinder spoke with head baseball coach George Powell about what to expect in the 2013 campaign.
The Otterbein season is underway, and with the team counting down the days to its spring break Florida trip, I caught up with Coach Powell to see his expectations for the season.
We have high expectations. I mean, this program has always had high expectations and dates before me. So we're really confident on how hard the guys are working and what we're asking them to do and how they've developed. So we're really excited about what's in front of us. We've got 3 games under our belt already, and hopefully by the time we get back from Florida, we'll have the team solidified in terms of how we move forward in the league.
With only 4 seniors on a team that finished 22-17 last year, Coach Powell will turn to them for leadership.
It's kind of for a senior group, it's kind of an eclectic group where they're different, but they're all great kids, they good people, and that's one of the things that we stress in the program, who you are first. And we got great kids, but they're all different in terms of what they bring. Wes is a great player. He's done a lot of great things, obviously being a preseason All-American. Matt Fry and Don Peretta, we're looking at more in the relief role, which you're talking about a little bit.
OU is already 2-1 on the year and will head to Fort Myers, Florida over spring break before opening home play at Fishball Field on March 26th versus Rio Grande. For This Week at Otterbein, I'm David Kinder.
Well, that's all the time we have for Cardinal Sports Report. Now back to you, Danny.
Thanks, Jacob. On behalf of the entire crew, I'm Danny Lebsock, reminding you to stay classy, Otterbein. See you next week.